Hey guys, and welcome back to Elley Knows Rocks. I am standing at the Arizona Hot Springs. I've hiked over 3 miles in to get here, and I'm going to show you, walk you through all of the pools and my hike here. This is a beautiful geothermal hot spring in the middle of the Arizona desert, right on the Nevada border, not too far away from the Hoover Dam. Thank you so much for being part of my adventure, and let's go see what we find.
And this is what the butt crack of dawn looks like on an Arizona morning when you get up to go on a very long hike. You can't beat the sunrises in Arizona.
I'm eating a snack on the way down to the trail, and I brought my hiking poles. I don't know if it's gonna be a good decision or a bad decision. Again, forgive the food in my face. But so far, this is where I'm at. That's right, walking under the bridge. And my trail is 3.3 miles one way. I really hope I don't have cream cheese all over my face. But I need to take a quick nature walk before I keep hiking. I'm at a crossroads right now, checking out a map because supposedly if you go one way, it takes you the long way around and you have to use a ladder that's supposedly broken, but it's probably fixed because it's an old sign or an old notification. But we're gonna go this way, I think. Yep, but it's exciting. Beautiful, beautiful, huge volcanics over there. One of the reasons for the hot springs in this area is all the geothermal activity. And from what I've read about, they claim that this trail hiking here is supposed to be a moderate hike, but there's only a little bit of elevation gain from the parking area, which is way over there, to the hot springs, which is on the other side of those hills somewhere. So we'll see how moderate it is. I mean, right now I could do it in like flat tennis shoes or really good flip-flops, which I brought for the hot spring, but I have my big old boots on right now. Oh, well, do you know? Whoops. There's a sign in the middle of the wash, but I believe I'm still going the correct direction according to the map. Garbage. It's my favorite thing to find along a trail. And actually, Dan found it. You have cream cheese on your lip. Let's look up here really fast. Let's see. I think it's just a road cut. Yeah, it appears to be just another road, another trail. There's like a trail that goes that way, a couple of them. There's a lot of hiking trails out here near the trailhead of the Arizona Hot Springs. So a lot of people can come out here, taking their families, running around. Lots of volcanic rocks. Haven't seen any great rock hounding type stuff yet. Just a little bit of like andesitic rock. Volcanics, intrusives, that kind of thing, you know, granites, that kind of stuff. A little bit of what looks like some pyroclastic flows. shortcut. Yeah? No? Going over a little bit steeper part of the hill now. View of the 93. People coming from the Hoover Dam area. We should get a real good view once we get to the very top. So far, the hike is easy for me. I think some people it might be a little bit more difficult, but it's not hard at all. Lots and lots of volcanic rock out here. Aren't those beautiful? Areas like this, well, I mean, we are in a big canyon. Some of these are mesas, and you can get single eruption or single event volcanoes that just kind of poke out like this and eventually fall off. But more likely than not, these are just mesas. I'm assuming we don't go that way. No. We're just gonna get to the top of the hill. Yeah. This is really cool. Wow. Yeah, a bicycle ride on this would have been real epic. Like I could have taken my mountain bike down here, tried to eat it on these rocks, which I'm not very great at traversing in between these guys. It would have been fun though. Woo! We'll be going downhill now. This is fun. I actually like climbing uphill. I'm not a fan of walking downhill. I'd rather climb up any day. If you have, I would say poor knees or weak knees, this might not be the best trail for you. But walking along down here, there are some bright green minerals. See, there's some copper minerals inside of this, which doesn't make sense because this is all a bunch of rhyolitic basalt. So it's super strange, excuse me, that there would be these guys, and they have a very, very beautiful iridescent green color to them. It's highly unusual, but at least it makes for something interesting on the trail. And if you like green rocks that have a little tiny coating on them, then those are for you. And you can see the different layers of stratigraphy through the eruptions. You can see different giant flow banding in some of them, those whiter ones over there in between the two darker layers. Different eruption events. You can even see it up on top of that hill. Then you see some tilting and uplifting with this guy right here. And even through part of that, a nice unconformity right there. So you have this whole uplift underneath, and then you had an eruption that created that big dome, which is more flat. That's kind of cool. There's a rule at the front of the trailhead that says pack it in and pack it out. If you brought your water bottle all the way to this point, don't be a jerk and just pack out your garbage. Furthermore, women, don't do this because you're just littering. If you have to pee and you don't have a bag to put your paper in, then you need to bury it really deep or drip dry, because this is ridiculous. This is absolutely stupid. You guys don't need to be that big of dummies. So anybody that is out in the wild doing that, that's why they shut places down, is because of people like that. They just leave their garbage everywhere. I mean, I have a backpack. Whatever I'm carrying in is gonna go out with me unless for some reason it falls out of my backpack. Those things didn't fall out of anybody's backpack. So just respect the wilderness, because whatever you put here, like this for instance, dropping whatever piece of plastic that is.
I'm a light.
Yeah, but still, it's going to get into our waterways. It's going to get into the oceans. It's, you know, we do a good enough job of polluting everything every day anyways, so do what you can and pick stuff up. I love finding a fault while I'm walking. Check this out. Look how slick this is. All nice and smooth all the way up. and down like that. It's pretty cool. Places in Nevada like this, they look for jasperoid, which can help find gold. They look for it in faults near geothermal areas, and you can see this one goes up here. Nice little slick area all the way around. So it's pretty cool. It goes all the way around that rock like that. Oh, wow, there's another little trail to go investigate over there. Or I'm on the wrong trail. Nah. Ooh, I can't get lost, right? There were a ton of cars in the parking lot, so. But, and then they tried to, cover up whatever that was? Weird. Although I fear places like this is where you come up against an area where there was a giant waterfall and then you can't get down it. We'll see. So these rocks here are giant conglomerates, matrix supported with huge clasts and small clasts. And you can get volcanic conglomerates. It's very odd. They come up through tubes. Basically, it's like a volcanic river inside of something. Or inside of a tube. And then all of these rocks are swirling around. So they become rounded and they plop out with the lava flow. Wow. Oh, here's another fault. Nice slick lines right there. This is really cool. Oh, look, see? The mythical waterfall that I thought we might hit in this canyon. Oh, these are nice conglomerates right here. Beautiful clasts. And of course, this could have been just a fluvial area that had giant clasts already in it from a riverbed. And then the lava could have come, the basalt, all this really nice red stuff. It's almost like scoria, and picked up those rocks as it flowed. Because now you get into here and there's a transition in rock and the conglomerate goes away. This is a great definition of a rock contact. So this is two different lava events. You have this red one that happened first, probably a huge unit, and then you have this grayish one that over enveloped it, and then you can see parts of the red again over here and then parts of the gray. So the red was here first, the gray came over, spilling over on top of the red, covering parts of it up, filling in grooves, so you get these beautiful rock contacts. And this beautiful blue rock in the river, very odd, interesting. It's not plastic, but kind of cool. I'm hoping I'm high enough above this you can see it. See the circles of this lava? So this basalt comes out almost in a ball or bomb type of a situation. And they create these awesome round balls of lava. And they're little ones to big ones. You can see them crack open because that's their structure. I wonder if there's more. I bet there is too. Look at the faults up there. Mm-hmm. You see this red layer here that I'm pointing at? You can see how it goes down right there, all the way across, up. You can see that fault dips this direction into the hill. And then that red layer that goes across the fault, and then the whole other red layer up there. That is beautiful extension. And all of this happens because we're getting closer to Nevada, and Nevada is mostly a basin and range, so you get all of these things that split apart. You know, it's called the Midwest stretch marks, and that's part of it. Arizona has very, very little of a basin and range system, but they do just slightly when it touches Nevada. There's a specific term for what all of this brown rock is called right here. It came from the top right here, and it flowed downward. It's not a debris flow, it is a potentially a rock slide, but the actual technical term for it is called colluvium. And like alluvial fans, alluvium comes down from the mountains and rocks around. Colluvium, the source, is very close, and all the rocks come down to the bottom. When you're doing geologic mapping and looking at the different rocks. You look at the rocks first down here, and then you climb up until those rocks disappear, or you found the source. And so you know that this is the colluvium flow area. This is another beautiful rock contact. Goes all the way across. It's a huge conglomerate system, my goodness. You can see all of the hard mineral buildup all the way along these walls. Isn't that neat? This right here is the start of the spring. This is warm water. All in this little area right now. It's super, super warm. You can feel just the heat around you. You start to sweat almost immediately because it's so warm. Wow. It's warm coming out of the rock too. Super mineralized. Oh my gosh. Right here. I'm going to get to the first one. Woo! Holy crap. This is not a warm hot spring, if y'all know what I mean when you saw my last video about the hot springs of Greenland. This is boiling in comparison. Holy, this is so cool. Ouch. That is... Holy crap. Oh, here, will you get me stuff? Wow. Okay, I am having a beverage in the hot spring because this is what you do. I mean, at least that's what we do. So, cheers to me. This is so cool. I'm actually afraid to get into the water. It's so warm.
It gets cooler further down you go.
We're just seeing, what, we're gonna meander or,
Yeah, we'll meander, then grab our stuff and carry on.
what, we have to walk through this to carry on?
Yeah.
You can see I did very little research. I knew how to get here into the hot spring as far as like walking into the river further. So all of this is calcium that comes from the water, and there's probably the smallest amount of sulfur in it as well. Just because, I mean, that's just kind of what happens in this stuff.
Remember when he did have it on repeat though? I was like,
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's warm. That's warm.
Nice down this one. When I first get in, it's too much.
I swear we listened to it one time and read it all.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of it.
That day we left here.
Oh man, now this hot spring completely different from the first one. The one in Greenland you could get away with because it was 88 degrees, but it was also 34 degrees outside. So it was absolutely freezing, but it's what, 70 something today? Or it's supposed to be? What's it supposed to be today?
Like 65.
Never mind, it's 65-ish degrees or something, whatever his watch says. And these, the hottest one is about 115, and you go to 110, 105, then you go to 195 degrees, and so on and so forth. So as they get closer to the river, they cool down.
No, I'm not going to. I don't either. They're going to dry out.
This is so amazing. Danny, you would love it here. It's definitely not.
The Arizona hot springs are, of course, naturally heated. The geothermal conditions of the Earth are what heat the groundwater, and it's an estimated 120 degrees at its hottest to about 111 degrees out of the ground. The water is pumping through fractures and faults in the rock at approximately 30 to 50 gallons per minute. So the water is always flowing and always keeping itself clean. Waters in hot springs like this are highly, highly mineralized, and the minerals from the water condensation will precipitate up on top of the rocks. As the steam rises, it carries up little bits of those minerals out of the water, and then they harden on the rock, almost like stalactites and stalagmite formations. If you are planning to go to the Arizona hot springs, please make sure that you're prepared. Yes, swimming around in wonderful hot water can be so relaxing, but make sure that you have an adequate amount of fresh water that you've brought with you. While you're in the hot spring, your body is heating up more than you realize, and you start to sweat even though you might not be able to feel it. So you need to replenish your water as often as possible. And on top of that, the hike in is over 3 miles, and the hike out is over 3 miles. My total round trip hike was 7.12 miles. And to the springs, it's pretty much all downhill, and then of course out of the springs, it's all uphill. Water is awesome. It's clear, and there's a ton of precipitation of minerals all over the walls beside me. This is the hottest of the pools right here. It's burning. Like, feet are instantly red. You can probably see like the color change in my skin. But it's well worth it. It's super, super warm. We are going to start to walk down through the pools to see each one as they cool off to get down to the river.
You'll have rocks in the shoe.
Alright, ready?
Yep. Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah, if you put that, like that tube got left in one of the nights. It takes like a good 7 hours to cool down.
You can see all the signs there saying
Keep the hot out, don't do it. It takes so much less time to heat it up and cool it down.
I like the don't pull the drain plug.
Oh, that's cute. That's funny. Right, ready?
Yep.
You're still filming?
Yeah.
Could I clip this onto my back or just hold? Yeah, I'm glad.
Well, don't let it distract you. That's whatever you do.
Oh, the pole? Nah.
Yeah.
You still filming? So there's something very important about hot springs in Arizona that everybody should know about. And that is the fact that you should never put your face in the water, specifically snorting water up your nose. A lot of hot springs, and especially Arizona hot springs, carry an amoeba that can get up your nose and within 4 to 5 days can actually kill you. There have been some rare cases where people have survived because they knew they were in a hot spring, they fell off, so they went to the doctor and they were able to be saved. However, for the normal person that doesn't do this all the time, don't dunk your head under the water, it's just not smart. However, if you swallow the amoeba, it can't hurt you. So you could drink the water, essentially, I wouldn't recommend it. But it's not going to kill you in that respect. The Arizona hot springs are absolutely fantastic. This whole area is extremely volcanic, and there are so many little geothermal outlets everywhere. And all of the white stuff that is on the walls behind me is the precipitation of minerals because these hot springs are so mineralized. That's one reason it draws people to them. It says it rejuvenates their skin, people love to soak in hot water, and for the outdoors people, it gives you a hike and it lets you just enjoy the Arizona nature.
So this is considered the bottom entrance. I entered from the top entrance of the Arizona Hot Springs. And this water, it's all warm. So I am walking around in my backpack, in my bathing suit, eating string cheese through hot water in Arizona. In December. Wow, look how cool this is.
I'm gonna get my phone back out now.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Ooh, that, okay. Green slippery, red not slippery. Yeah, they're great.
The water is cooling down just a tad. Warning! Do not allow water to enter your nose. This is the name of the amoeba. So, yeah, it can cause death. Don't snort the water. Don't dive in. Oh, listen how quiet it gets. Ooh, ooh. Well, the water's still warmish. It's definitely cooling down. But I'm in December. It's in December. I'm in a bathing suit in a hot spring. Who could do that everywhere else? Well, besides Nevada and... Oh, someone forgot their hiking pole. Hopefully they just like left it there because they didn't want to take it up anymore. Oops. Wow, look how pretty this is. Oh my gosh. This is worth it, guys. If you get a chance to, come out to the Arizona Hot Springs.
Also called Ringbolt Hot Springs.
Also called Ringbolt Hot Springs. Thank you, Dan. Ooh, ooh. That sound is water that is escaping. That's neat. I absolutely love meandering canyons. You have an awesome mixture here of volcanic rocks, sandstone, and conglomerate, all shoved into one area. And then water on top of that. Now, depending on which way you enter the hot spring, whether it was from above like I did or from the bottom entrance, the water starts to disappear. So the water is going underground, which means there are underground faults systems that allow the water to escape, and it just disappears. And all of a sudden, you are walking in dry dirt. That is pretty fantastic, and that right there is an awesome geologic wonder. There is the beautiful Colorado River. And you can see those lines on the rocks are where the river raises and falls. We went and saw it through this wonderful opening. And that's the trail up I need to take. Crazy. Ooh. Ooh. So don't fall, don't fall. Ooh. Huh. Oh, there's a bolt right there. A climbing bolt. Huh. People must climb this stuff. I wouldn't say that's always recommended.
Crazy hippies.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. This right here is a giant exposed fault. That right there. You can see the slick lines on it very easily. You can see the slick lines a lot right here. Two directional. You got one this way and one going this direction, or you know, whatever, but this is the fault and there's one going this way. That is crazy. Super crazy, but really cool. Now we start an ascent of 800 feet in elevation gain.
It's actually 992.
Sorry, we start an elevation gain of 992 feet. This is why I sometimes rely on other people to carry different mapping devices, because I'll just go with it. Don't care how many feet of elevation gain, but I know I gotta climb up and out somehow. Whoop. Whoa. And so there it is. Came from a wonderful hot spring through that canyon. Whoa. That freaked me out. Someone's tent shoved up under a rock. Good grief. If it was a bear, it would have attacked me. And now I start my trek back to the car and then back home. Which way do I go? Probably this way. Look at that. Beautiful view. Now I'm just a little bit lost. But I think I continue right and up. Straight?
Yeah.
Along the river? Ooh. Going this way. Ooh. Yikes. Like, these are the parts of the hike, if you're doing a round trip, that would be very difficult if you're not sure-footed or agile. You would need to really take it slow and probably use a buddy system to help. Like, that part, not a big deal. Going up that crack of a thing, difficult for some people. Now, some people can kayak into this area. You can beach your kayaks here and then hike into the backside of the hot spring, which would be pretty convenient if you wanted to make a full day or a camping trip out of this entire thing. There's some great little peaceful areas. Wow.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah,
Green, but clear.
it's very clear. Look how big the fish is.
Let's see.
You see it?
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
That thing's huge. Oh my gosh. That was a giant fishy. Wow, that sure is pretty, huh?
Yeah. The water's so freaking cold right here.
Really? You want to jump in?
No.
Coming in from the other side of the hot spring has huge cliffs. Almost a completely different terrain from where we came in comparison to the size. Some of them are just massive and gigantic. Great contacts. Oops. Fault lines. I just almost ate it on a rock. Oh, precarious rocks up there. We love those. It's completely different. We found a miniature slot canyon off of one of these edges here. Look at that. It goes up on the side there. Oof. Full slippery. Oh, and it keeps going too. That's cute. I love little mystery canyons like that.
Now again, if you're going on this trip, please take the proper equipment. Know the conditions of the weather before you go, and take a buddy with you because that's going to be your safest bet. Also, if you're not an avid hiker, take frequent breaks, they do help. And remember, have fun, be safe, and if you pack it in, pack it out. Don't leave trash lying around like other people did. From a geologic standpoint, this place is pretty fantastic. From the sandstone and conglomerate, all the volcanic rocks and faulting, and of course, the geothermally heated water.
I do like finding bird nests. I used to collect them as a kid. They were empty. But this one enters from the bottom. Isn't that cute? That's adorable. I don't know what kind of bird that does a nest like that, but how adorable. I know it's so that they can protect their eggs and stuff from critters that land on top, but super cute. Arizona Hot Springs. I started out going on that trail that direction. I came up the middle wash here. That little secret canyon is where the little secret canyon is, and those really giant mountains. And then going this direction is White Rock Canyon and the Liberty Bell Arch. Today I'm not going to do that because it is getting later. So I'm about to head home. So that was the Arizona Hot Springs. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this adventure. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you enjoyed this really beautiful part of the Arizona desert. And come back for the next one.